Good evening and welcome back to Vegas October 1 Sounds, the Hunter Chronicles. Tonight I'm going to skip away from looking at the 29th a little bit and do some foundational work with regards to bags. All this was motivated by looking at the 29th because I needed to answer some very specific questions with regards to bags. So tonight I'll talk about when did the luggage come in, who brought it in, how it was brought in, and I'll also look at what kind of clothes Paddock was wearing, specifically what color was his shirt on each day. And then I'm going to do that by using exclusively the MGM videos. So with that, let's get started. So yes, we're going to be covering the whole week, right, from Monday through Sunday. And yes, I'm going to be looking at bags, suitcases, you name it. And the whole lone wolf theory rests on Paddock by himself getting up to his room thousands of rounds of ammunition and a large arsenal of rifles. And he had to do that without raising any suspicion from Mandalay Bay. So how many trips did it take? How did he get him up there? And how did he do it without raising suspicion? And as I just mentioned, we're going to use exclusively the MGM videos because going by the fit report, which I have done before, leads you astray. The stuff in the fit report, while generally getting some times right, certainly does not get the day or the content always right. But the MGM videos, they're there, they're pictures, they're images, and unless you believe they're forged, they're pretty good. They're right on the money. So let's start out by doing the 25th. What images do we have on the 25th? And the first one you see here is Paddock standing at the VIP counter, and he has over his left shoulder a laptop, and that counts as luggage. So there it has. At 14:52, we know for sure that he has a piece of luggage with him. And the next image you see is Paddock once again, this time wearing a brown shirt. Might almost be talking with that lady over there. He's wearing the brown shirt again. It's the 25th, as you can see by the timestamp. Got that laptop, and he's waiting on an elevator there on the casino level. The next image is one of him in an elevator going theoretically up to his room, although he could be coming down, but you see right he's at the casino level and he's entering it, so that would lead me to believe that he's going up. And the time was approximately 3:38 p.m. in the afternoon, and he still has his laptop bag over his left shoulder. The next and final image that we see from the 25th is a still shot from a fairly lengthy video of him eating at the sushi bar. And here you'll notice that he has no laptop with him. Now this still image doesn't represent the whole video, but after examining the whole video, there's cannot be seen any version of any laptop anywhere, either on the floor or on his body. So that completes the first four images from the 25th. And it pretty much covers the check-in time. And we see that initially he has a laptop, and by the time he's at the sushi bar, he doesn't. So he left it somewhere up in his room, theoretically. So let's move on to the next sequence, which covers the times in which Paddock used assistants, namely the bellhops. And we'll start with the date on this left. Here is the 25th, arrival at the valet. There he is going up the elevator. And there he is in the elevator. Excuse me, he was over there at the service elevator. And the fellow in the middle is Morales. That was the person who helped Paddock move the bellhop cart from valet area, or at least from the front desk into the service elevator. Next, we have another entry, this time on the 26th at the valet, And here we see that it is a different person this time who has helped him get to the service elevator. And eventually that fellow would hand it off to someone else who would eventually finish taking it up to the room. And we'll see that in this image. Guy with the mustache this time. All right, that's the 26th. So far we've got one on the 25th, one on the 26th. That's two. And upcoming is the next one, which again starts at the valet. This time on the 28th. Skipped the 27th. Moved right on to the 28th. There's at the valet. Again, there'll be somebody that helps him over to the service elevator area. It looks very much like the same fellow as on the 26th. And then we'll see the next image up there, which, I don't know, kind of looks like the guy with the mustache again. Don't know for sure. So there we have it. We have a total of 3 bellhops. One on the 25th, one on the 26th, one on the 28th. The 27th is skipped. Each time they use the service elevator. It looks like at least 2 different people were involved moving the luggage to the service elevator, and at least 2 different people, maybe 3, actually going up to the room. So, what's next? Well, let's look at the times in which Paddock rolled his suitcases in by himself, regardless of where he came from, either the valet or the self-park, and he had no assistance getting to the room or he did not go to the service elevator. So let's go ahead and start that little sequence up after this one rolls through, finishes up. All right. Now we're going to cover without assistance. Here again, starts at the valet. Ooh, he's wearing a blue shirt this time. On the 30th. Here he is going through center core areas. He's got 2 rolling bags, a laptop, and 1 white paper bag, which he's going to take up to the room. It's a little bit after 6 a.m. in the morning. Next we have a very fuzzy picture of him with more bags. This time, again, at the 6 a.m. hour. So this is him going up to his room. There were a couple times when he went up to his room that morning. And now we have on the 30th another sequence which starts at Garage 4 West Valet, which is the self-park area. And here again he's pulling up a couple suitcases, and here we see him rolling those suitcases out, again wearing a blue shirt. Still the 30th. And now we're at the 1st. So just 2 days. Here he is coming through the front entrance. So obviously he came from valet area. And there is a back shot of him wearing his brown shirt and carrying a gray bag, a blue bag, or rolling a gray bag, a blue bag, and a laptop. And this is on the 1st. And those are all the images for him bringing luggage in without assistance from the valet. And we'll talk a little bit more in a different video about the cameras and things like that. So now that only leaves times in which Paddock removed luggage from the hotel. Yes, he removed luggage from the hotel. How many trips and what luggage and when? So here we are on the 25th, sometime after 8 p.m. and he's taking out, and these are very clear images, taking a laptop out. On the left he's got a smallish or medium-sized bag, and on the right he's got a fairly large bag. So whatever was in there theoretically is still in the room, of course with the exception of the laptop, because he seems to carry that one laptop around with him quite a bit. But this is on the 25th. So remember that on the 25th he went up to the room once, dropped off the laptop, he got his car out of self-park, took it over to the valet, and then he took a whole boatload of stuff up on the bellhop cart. And here he is taking something out. That's on the 25th. On the 27th, we again see him carrying a couple large bags. Now remember, there were no arrivals on the 27th, so the bags he's taken out there either had to come in on the 25th or the 26th. And that is the beach level. You notice the floor is different than the casino level. The casino level is broken up into smaller squares than the beach level. So there he is. So what does that leave us with? Well, we got quite a few trips, don't we? So what I'm going to do now is take my daily activity chart, and around it I'm going to plop down all those images in the order in which they came in, and just, make a few notes. So here we go. I've got 25th down at the casino level. You can tell by the floor there. And he's got his laptop hanging over his left shoulder. There we again are on the 25th. This time he's at the service elevator. That's the second trip up. This time using a bellhop. That's Morales there. And the third trip on the 25th is when he removed something. So 3 trips on the 25th. 2 to bring luggage in, albeit on the first one it was just the laptop, and 1 to remove a couple bags. So next sequence is the 26th. And here you see he's got again a boatload of stuff, and he used the valet, and he's using the service elevator. Trip number 4. Trip number 5 was on the 27th, where he removed 2 big bags. Okay, so now we've got 3 days so far. We've got 3 trips on the 25th, 1 on the 26th, and a removal on the 27th. So what happens on the 28th? Got some more service elevator activity. A whole lot more bags this time, including the white styrofoam cooler that he takes up. So that's the 28th. What happens next? Whoop, we skipped the 29th. Here we are at the 30th, and now he's bringing in bags by himself. And we talked about that time frame. That was the early AM hours. And this is just a close-up magnification of that same video, so we could see colors of things. Next one, again on the 30th. So this is the second trip on the 30th. And this time he's doing what? This is around 3 p.m. So it looks like he's in the parking garage. Yeah, parking garage elevator, getting into it. So he's bringing something in. And then the next one would be on the 1st, where he came in at noon through the front door from the valet. And there he is in the elevator bank, soon to go up to his room. And there you have it. And if you count them up, you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trips. 2 going out, 7 coming in. Now, most interestingly, you can see that the 29th had no activity with the luggage per se. No trips either. And you'll also notice that the 27th, in the one on the bottom in green, only had stuff removed. So that leaves all the comings and goings to 5 days. That would be the 25th, 26th, 28th, all of which were Bellhop Trips plus, and the 30th and the 1st, all of which were bags he did by himself. The bags that came in on the bellhops tended to be larger, not all of them. The bags that came in without the assistance of the bellhops tended to be smaller, and from watching the videos, heavier. And after a lot of research, I got a whole lot of research on bags, I've concluded that the ammo came in on the last couple of days, most of it, and that the guns came in on the first 3 days, based upon the size and weight and frequency count of the bags. So that this little collage here paints a pretty good image of when things arrived, and by using it you can quickly spot when the trips happened, who assisted or how he got in, and potentially what he was carrying. I'll go into great detail in another video as to what's on each of those carts and where they ended up in rooms, but not tonight. So in creating these things, we've noticed that we've got quite a few images of Paddock And from that, we can take a look at what color of shirt he was wearing each day. Because the 29th, for example, for the longest of time, I did not realize that he wore a white shirt on the 29th because I was never interested in, how many times he walked across center core without bags. I'd only focused on bags for the longest time, did not notice the white shirt. So it's important to know, what color of shirt he's wearing each day. So let's take a look at that in great detail. So here we are. That's kind of a brownish. The light there is of a greenish nature, so that color of brown there is going to be less green than it appears. But I just call it brown or brownish, and that's on the 25th. On the 26th, this is a black and white. I put this one in because it's a close-up view where you can see very clearly that he's wearing a dark shirt on the 26th, but more importantly, he is wearing undergarment, a white undergarment, whereas on the other days I don't see him wearing an undergarment. So that's kind of interesting. So on the 26th he was wearing a white undergarment. The next two images, one will be the 26th here, where you can see he's over there at the high limit slots gambling, and he's wearing a brown shirt. The light here is, sepia, or, it's very warm, let's say, and you can't quite tell what the color is there because of it, but it is brownish. And then we have on the 27th, when he's removing things out, back down on the casino floor again, it's kind of a greenish tint, but it's clearly of a brownish nature, perhaps with overtones of blue or gray in them. And that was an outgoing trip. Next set of images is for the 28th, where here you can see him gambling at high limit slots. This time he's got his brown shirt on, another brown shirt. I don't know that it's the same one. And then all of a sudden on the 29th, he changes into this fancy collared shirt, looking a lot like the structure of his other ones, but this time very, very much a white dress shirt with a collar. And that plays a significant role on the 29th because that happened in the early AM hours when the fit report says nothing was going on, that Paddock was gambling all evening. Well, he wasn't. In fact, it looks like he was dressed up to meet someone. All right, so we still haven't finished the days yet. And here he is, Paddock, in the AM hours on the 30th, wearing his blue shirt, which he would wear all day. And then he would drive to Mesquite, and when he comes back, he's wearing a brown shirt. Alrighty. So we've got probably 3 different shades of brown, a blue, and a white. So most of the days are, we have the t-shirt day too. Most of the time he's wearing some sort of brown shirt with darker colored pants, but specifically for the 30th it's blue. So by just using the MVM videos, we put together a complete day-by-day account of what luggage came in or was removed. We also could see that he had a total of 9 trips, 1 on the check-in with a laptop, 3 with the bellhops on the, 3 with the bellhops, 3 by himself, and 2 on 2 days and 2 trips, 1 trip each day removed luggage. So luggage was removed only on the 25th and the 27th, and luggage came in on the bellhops only on the 25th, 26th, and 28th. And on the 30th, Paddock rolled in bags twice by himself and once on the 1st. And nothing happened on the 29th. No luggage came in, no luggage went out, that we know of. So what does all this mean? And let's summarize the shirts as we go. What it all means. I think I said this already, but I'll repeat it here for the summary. All the big bags arrived before the 29th. There was no activity regarding bags on the 29th, coming or going. And the majority of smaller pieces arrived on the last 2 days, the 30th and the 1st. And then we have his shirt colors listed by day. So if you see, for example, him in a white shirt, that's the 30th. If you see him in a blue one, the white shirt was the 29th. I should have put the days there, but I didn't. The white shirt was the 29th, the blue shirt was the 30th, and you have various colorations of brown the other days, except on the 26th, in which he was wearing a white undergarment. So if you see a little white undergarment showing from beneath his shirt, that was the 26th. For all the other browns, you'll have to kind of rely upon a timestamp or something. And I have used this chart or something very similar to resolve quite a number of issues. All right, well, that's the sum total of this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.